Hi, so I was looking for a Blu-ray player that was on the cheap end, but also high quality and had a basically a very good brand name. So I settled on this Philips and also on this Sony. So this particular Philips one is the model BDP-1502, and this Sony is BDP S1700. And this particular Philips was $50, the Sony was $58. And what I was looking for was something that was very basic. It'll play the Blu-rays, it'll play the DVDs, and I will demo this side by side on the television, my 4K TV. So what I was more concerned about was, when I played DVDs, that it actually looked very crisp and clear. And I could say both of these had equivalent picture quality, and you will see that in my demo. And both of these had equivalent sound quality. Now, the Sony actually does have some smart apps on it. Now, I didn't really care about the smart apps because the smart apps are actually available on the smart TV, and they are actually a lot better on the TV because most of the time they're richer in features, and also on the TV they're updatable. So I just really wanted bare bones Blu-ray players. So let me go ahead and actually give you some measurements on the size. Now you'll notice both of these are fairly compact. Now if I was to go to the Sony one, you could see it's 9 inches across, and it's actually 7.5 inches deep. So that's 7.5 inches deep. Now the remote itself is 5.25 inches. Now this remote on the Philips is really tiny. In fact, it's so tiny, I'm actually kind of concerned that it's easy to lose. And you could see that the Philips is 10.75 inches, almost 11 inches, and depth-wise it is 7.75 inches. Now you could see side by side just the size difference. Now the other thing I want to mention is the electrical plug. So if I go to the electrical plug here, this is the Philips and this is the Sony. So the Sony definitely takes up more size, so just be aware of that. In the back here, let me go and rotate this over. So in the back here, it is fairly basic. You could see that the Sony does have a hard-wired LAN cable. That is an HDMI. That right there is the electrical plug. And you could see the coaxial digital out. Now on the Philips, what you see is just a HDMI and also the electrical plug right there. So it doesn't have a coaxial digital out. Now both of these have the USB, where you could play movies straight from your USB, more or less MP4s specifically. Now just pulling back side by side so you could see the size difference here. Now both of these are already very compact. So just to show you the power button here, so I'm just going to push the power button, and when I push the power button my TV actually turns on. So that's just the functionality of my TV. Once it detects a signal, it'll turn on. Now the eject, just to show you the smoothness of this. So that's the Sony, and right here is the Philips. So you turn it on, you can see there's a red LED right there. This is a play and pause button, which the Sony does not have. So for the Sony, it'll automatically play the DVD once you put it in, but it doesn't have the play and pause button. And you could see that is the smoothness of the Philips right there. And for the Sony, you notice there is a full front panel here. So it's kind of like a computer, where it opens up that door and has that cover. Now, just comparing remotes. So let me bring up the remotes side by side here. And the Philips is more basic. And you can see the buttons here. Let me pull back a little bit without the glare. And you could see that the Sony, if you have a TV along with it, it does have, you know, the buttons also for the TV. Whereas the Philips is more bare bones and more basic for just the Blu-ray player. And alright, so let me now show you the on-screen menus for both of these. So I'm going to show you the scenes from a DVD, a compressed DVD side by side, and then I'm also going to go through all of the on-screen displays. Now the one I ended up keeping was actually the Sony, because the Philips on-screen display was actually very hard to navigate. And you'll see what I mean at the end of the video here, how hard it is to navigate. But let me first go through just the side-by-side video screens. Now, I was going to go through, you know, the Blu-ray, but the Blu-rays are more or less the same quality. They're very high quality. You can't distinguish between them, especially if you have a 4K television. That really automatically upscales for any of the modern TVs, you know, basically from 2018 or even 2017 is when I got this Samsung TV onward. You don't really have to worry about the upscaling. So I didn't even bother with buying upscaling Blu-ray players or DVD players for that reason. Now let me just go ahead and show you that side by side. So I'm going to demo the video quality of the Philips first, and you can see I have a compressed DVD burn here, which is the Spider-Man, and I'm going to skip scenes so that this video doesn't get caught for copyright. So I'm just going to put this in. And once again, that both of these are so similar that you can't really tell the difference between the two as far as the video quality or the or even the sound quality, audio quality. You can see right there. Keep in mind this is the Philips. So I'm skipping scenes here, so once again I don't get caught in the copyright. So right there, that's the Philips, and now I'm gonna put that same DVD right into the Sony and do the exact same thing. So this is the Sony's turn, And I'm gonna put in the compressed DVD. And I am actually very happy with the image quality of both of these. They're basically indistinguishable. So this is the Sony opening scene. I'm just scrolling through the same scenes as before. And that is a sampling of both the Sony and the Philips. And up next, I'm going to do the on-screen displays. So this here is the menu screen for the Sony. And, you know, just going by the remote here, you could see that you could actually download apps, but keep in mind there is no Wi-Fi. This is a wired, and you could also navigate the USB. Now if I go all the way up to setup, I want to show you the setup screens. You can see there's a software update. Once again, that is reliant on the wired network connection. Then this is the accessibilities, and you could see it could have larger text, auto scroll speed, and this is for you know, people with disabilities, either for hearing or for sight. Now if I do the return, screen settings. So the screen settings here, you can see the aspect ratio, 16:9 or 4:3. Screen format, so it could be full, normal. So I'm going to do full here. Aspect ratio, letterbox, pan, or pan and scan. Cinema conversion mode, auto, video, and the output resolution. So the output resolution, original, you know, interlaced, not interlaced, 780p, 1080p interlaced, not interlaced. So, you know, just having that at auto. And you could see here 24p output for the Blu-ray, for the DVD, and for whatever content, and also the streaming content. And you could see this is the RGB colors. Have that at auto, HDMI, auto 16-bit, 12-bit, 10-bit, and once again at auto. Pause mode. And those are actually the basic settings of the Sony BDP-1700. The audio settings. So here's the digital output, Blu-ray mix, Dolby Digital, audio, I believe this is the kind of encryption, down mix stereo, and here's the viewing properties, the menu options, audio language, subtitles, BDP, Blu-ray connection, delete the data, and parental settings. So it could have a passcode. I am just going to cancel this. No restrictions, no restrictions. And allow. System settings. So this is the on-screen display language. I'll show you what language it supports, which is English, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. Closed caption, HDMI settings. Control for HDMI linked to TV. Quick start mode. Auto display. Software notifications on or off. System information, that is like the network information, and the license. And here's the network settings, which is once again not a Wi-Fi, it's a wired connection. And easy network settings. So this is setting up the network, and once again this is a wired connection. And finally, the last is resetting all of the menu options. So that is the on-screen display of the Sony. So this here is the on-screen menu display of the Philips BDP-1502. And you could see the first option is the disc, that is the USB, and right here I have setup. And this setup is actually very tricky. And I'll go into it. You can see it's highlighted. And right there is a slight white. And if I navigate down, you could see that I am controlling the options now. Now it's very tricky to actually set, I must say, because I actually don't know, judging by these colors, what menu is actually active. So the choices are actually terrible. So right now I don't know if I'm controlling the TV display, though that's my guess here, because it is slightly white. And I pushed this particular one, but once I move it up, you could see, all right, that is the TV display, so I'm just going to have that set to auto. And I'm gonna click cancel. So once I have it set to auto, I'm gonna go back, and you could see this is the HDMI video, or actually this is the noise reduction. So this is what I mean. This is very hard to navigate. And you can see this is the HDMI video or noise reduction. This is the TV display. This is the HDMI video. So I suppose I can choose particular right there, the widescreen. Now I'm going to go back. You can see now I have the display is widescreen, the HDMI video is auto, and the noise reduction is medium. Now for the audio and for the preferences, so just for the language preference here, you see there's English, there's French, and then there's Spanish. And there's actually Bulgarian, Chinese, Czech, Danish, Dutch, English, Finnish. So there's a bunch of languages here for the menu options. So once again, it is just crazy to navigate. It's just so very difficult to figure out what menu option you're on. So I have to kind of restart here, but I just want to show you just how hard it is. Now I'm using the remote control, and just going to go back, and I've selected English. Now just going back to preferences. So I can't even tell. I really can't even tell what menu option I'm on. You know, I guess that's all of the languages that you see. So that's the audio for the English. That's the subtitles is off. You know, though on the remote here, you know, you could toggle the subtitles with this button, this particular button here. But let me just skip to advanced. But the navigation of this menu option, these menu options are just horrible. And so, you know, Philips could have done a better job here. You can see the software updates is through the disk, you know, USB, and once again, it's tough for me to even navigate through that. And here's the accessibilities. I wish I could do a better demo of this, but I really do want to show you just how tough it is to navigate this. It is very tricky, so just keep that in mind. And really that's it for the on-screen menu display of the Philips.